Hi everyone, good evening. It's just Damian. I've got the girls out tonight, but you might not be able to tell us. I've got a black dress on. But yeah, I've got a bit of an update, some positive, some negative, and feeling funky. So I'm in a bit pain the last couple of days. I've had surgery on Wednesday, just to get a couple of ingrown toenails sorted. My big toes on each foot. I've had the edges of the toenails taken out of each toe, of each big toe either side. That's going to make it a little bit more easier with the gender journey because I'll notice it more with the gender journey because it's mainly when I've got the lady shoes on that the rubbing that a bit. I did buy some ballet flats, or I do have some ballet flats what I wore in Portugal last year, and they were all right for the first couple of nights, but then it got a bit pussy and a bit infected, a bit gungy, a bit green. So to dig it out with the sharp end of a flosset and clean it out, and I know that I shouldn't have done that. I did have travel insurance and holiday insurance, everything like that, which I do, but there was no hotel nearby, and I didn't want to be getting a taxi or anywhere to a strange place, so I just cleaned it out myself, and it worked all right in that. But it's mainly the right foot that gets infected, but foot, the left foot doesn't get infected as much, but it's still sore. But yeah, that's sorted, so it's going to be okay. That's sorted, and I'm still in a little bit of pain with it. Where the joint is between the big toe and the base of your foot, it's still it's a bit sore there where the bandages were rubbing, like the thick bandages. But I've got some I've got some bandages on now that are not as thick, and the I can start getting showered again at home. I did get washed today before I went out. I'd used the kitchen sink, it's bigger than the bathroom sink, and put my head under the sink and had a shower, did under my arms, and yeah, it's going to be easier for when I'm away again, with the ladies' shoes, or when I wear the ladies' shoes again, should I say. But yeah, I'm just making steps into the journey that I want for being female or exploring my gender. Uh, that's the only type of surgery that I've got that I'm having at the moment, but I needed it. I'm going to notice it more with the gender stuff, but I had ingrown toenails and they were sore, but more so with the lady shoes with the style and that I wore. But yeah, I'd rather get it sorted before I do have any plans and that again. So yeah. Um, Another good bit of positive news is that am starting to work with the communication therapist and that now. She's private, however, she is autistic as well, so it's good to know that there's a professional working with me that's going on a similar journey to myself, and I feel like there's a bit more interconnectivity and a bit more connection with us, physical connection, because she's had she's had or going through some of the difficulties in her life as what I am, and it's good to know that I'm not alone, and it's normal for me that in that perspective, or with autism, and some of the stuff that I'm feeling is normal. And the other reason what the reason why this is good is that there is plans to redo my safety plans and familiar faces reports in March. Might be slightly later. Can't see it being any earlier now, but it might most likely be slightly later just so they can get people there. But it's the first time where there's been safety plans and plans made where there's going to be a member of staff there, like a professional there that's got autism and that's a communication therapist as well, because the biggest misinterpretations that are getting me arrested and not getting me understood properly is the communication needs. This is the biggest issue, and it's the biggest issue. I am working on things. I am paying to go private, about £75 an hour, but it's money that I'm wanting to put in. To be honest with you, I'd rather pay for to work with a therapist that is private and has autism themselves than working with someone from the NHS that says they're a specialist but they don't have that personal experience. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to seeing how that can progress on and how that can work with ongoing police cases and that kind of thing. Um, and I am going to be working with her for some other ideas and that as well. I She did ask me if there was any ideas that I would like to work with her on, but I'm like, there was nothing I could think of on the at the time. But when I woke up on Saturday last week, which was my birthday, wasn't a good day. I had to go to hospital, but I'm fine. But which was my birthday night, and it's like going through my head of when I had that hospital admission in December with glandular fever. The hospital wanted me to do the communication passport for the hospital, like a disability passport, so they can have a look at it and that kind of thing. So it's like looking at it, reading it. I knew that there were similarities. But I struggle to get the words out there. I knew there were similarities 3 or 4 times. Similarities between got it then between the communication therapist report that I've already done and that kind of thing. So I've downloaded it online and had to change it from PDF to Word. Emailed it over to my communication therapist, and she's going to work with me on doing that because that is her expertise. So yeah, get that done correctly by a professional that understands autism. Then it's going to be correct for the hospital and that kind of thing. And yeah, I am feeling positive. At the moment, there's been a couple of setbacks, and that, as I say, I'm going to court because of people not understanding what the safety plans and that do. Because in September I ran the crisis team. The crisis team told me to be in the police told me to be in the crisis team, and I'd rang the housing department for the council because I was traumatised by stuff that had happened with them. Disclosed how it had made me feel because I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere down the standard path. I felt like I had to ask for help through unconventional means. So then they'd report me to the police, arrested for malicious communication and misuse of the police system. So I've got a court date for then for the 31st of March, but I'm trying to wait to hear back to see what a solicitor says. I do have a solicitor in mind that specialises in criminal law and mental health law, so I think that she's going to be better for this, better for that. However, I am hoping that the the plans that I'm putting in place to try to change everything is gonna do me some justice. It's like I am sick of it. It's like not me, it's like it is me and it's part of the NHS system and that as well. I'm sick of following plans that don't exist, and I get told they're not set in stone, but that makes things more confusing for me because you get told by one person, no, you shouldn't be doing this, you need to be doing this. No, you shouldn't be doing this, you need to be doing this. And you passed on between the two and passed on to the police and that. And it's about time now that I've tried to take matters into my own hands in getting this sorted. When I say take things into my own hands, I don't mean acting on intrusive thoughts. I don't mean making threats. I mean paying for someone that understands me and understands my level of needs and is a professional within the field of what I need that's autistic as well. So yeah, I'm trying to get something done about it, and I really enjoy working with this lady, and it's like I enjoy working with her. She enjoys working with me. Uh, but yeah, it's I see a step forward in my care and that with her because, as I say, I'm bringing her into the meeting for the safety planning and the next safety planning, and my new doctors, are really impressed with her communication therapist report and that as well. So it's getting everything set set out in the way that I need. I know 100% that safety plans and that will never be set in stone. However, if I bring her in, then I've got, if I bring her in, maybe the safety plans have more chance of succeeding because they've had input from a professional that knows exactly how my mind works when I'm distressed or with my communication. As I say, that's the biggest problem. But yeah, I was getting a little bit anxious and that kind of thing earlier in the earlier in the week. It had started on Monday, and I got woke up on Monday and had a dream of intrusive nature. I'm not saying what sort of intrusive nature it was, but had a dream of intrusive nature, and it's like getting to me with the anxiety and that up here, because I'm, I've, as I say, I've been told in the past that having dreams by the crisis team need to be reported to the police. There's been times where I've had the paramedics over because of severe anxiety attacks of waking up with a breathing and everything, and then they've ran they've rang the crisis team, said I'm fine, and they don't feel threatened by me, but I've had a dream of intrusive nature, and they've said that they need to ring the police and that, but over a dream and that, it's like I'm panicking because I'm thinking, is this a police matter? Does this need to be reported to the police? Does that need to be reported to the police? There is restrictions on me from ringing the crisis team, and that's since last September. But it's like it's going through my head that I need to be arrested, that I need to be arrested or at least reported to the police. However, I'd filled the e-consult in on my for my doctor's surgery on uh Wednesday night, and my doctor had rang me yesterday. My main doctor, I've got a couple that work with me, but my main doctor rang me yesterday and says this doesn't need to be reported to the police or whatever. But my new doctors understand me. My new doctors don't feel threatened by me, and I've got positive changes with them. They're supportive. They're following the communication therapist report, and it's like I see a light at the end of the tunnel. But there is little changes that I still need to bring into myself to get this right, to get the journey right, to get the journey right, and to get my life right how I want it. I'm not perfect. Put my hands up to it. I've made mistakes. I've done dreadful things, and we all go through that. However, I am trying to get a little bit more settled and try to rectify what I've done. And yeah, I need to be Damian, I need to be Danielle when I need to be. But yeah, it's like I'm enjoying the journey. I'm using the dressing room now more. But yeah, um I am enjoying the journey, but I need to put myself a little bit more first. Work up with ideas that are going to work for me, but other people as well. But it's more about putting myself first. I do want to go back to college or do some sort of training or voluntary work or social groups because I'm wanting to get out of the flat more. I do get out of the flat I do go to appointments. I do go out looking around the shops, and I do things. However, they're on my own. I need to be getting out more, where I'm socialising, having a good couple of drinks with people. Not like getting drunk or whatever. I'd prefer going for a meal or whatever, but yeah, it's about getting out and socialising more and doing things myself. But yeah, it's like I'd do go to the golf course and that, and there was one time there. It was like there was one time there. It was like I was wearing the ladies' clothes. Shouldn't have really wore the ladies' clothes. Not the boots mainly because they weren't the best sort of things to. They weren't the best shoes to be golfing in. I don't play golf. I go to the driving range, but I go to the driving range and smack the balls as far as I can. So there was a guy there, and we were having a couple of drinks, and we'd had a good chat, and we'd had a good chat about things, and I like really enjoyed that. And there is when I let things become natural, when I let things go with the flow, when I'm not worrying about things, I'm the person that I want to be. But there is times where I do try to be someone that I'm not, or try to force it and then it doesn't come out right. However, I have been looking at college courses and that. I am a little bit peeved off mainly because I applied for a course last year and they rang me a couple of days before the course started, gave me a start date. Then they rang me the day before the the course had started to say that they needed to check to see if they've got enough support or the correct support available for me at college. But then but then but then hadn't heard anything back. Applied for a couple more courses like later like after that. I can't remember if I'd applied for some at the end of last year, but I'd applied for some at the beginning of this year, and I'd had a phone call. I'd phoned up, hadn't heard anything back after that, so I phoned up. Then the said they'll get someone to ring back, but they didn't. I rang back on Monday, and I got told that the senior management and that have had a decision that they won't be taking me on and that kind of thing. I did ring back later. I did ring back later that day, another line to the learning disability line, learning support line for them, but they said that they were gonna, would I like to come down for free and they'll talk to me and that about what my options and that were. So I was on the bus. I was on the bus and the manager of the learning disability line of the learning support line ran me back, said the appointment had been cancelled and I'm not allowed, that the college don't want me coming in to do any more uh to do any more training courses or whatever. And then he's like, you need to do distance learning. I'm trying to explain that I don't concentrate at home properly, and I'm like, I don't concentrate at home properly, and it wouldn't be suitable for me. I need the classroom environment. But he's like, he got a bit abrupt and a bit firm and said the decision's final, even though I did ask why they'd made the decision, but he said the decision's final, but they wouldn't explain fully. But yeah, I've got ideas that I want to do. I've got ideas that I want to bring out, and it's like later that day as well. Later that day as well, I got an email back from a autism charity saying that their social groups and that were too were my needs were too high risk and too complex for them as well. So yeah, it's just I'm wanting to get things out and that kind of thing, but it's like if you want to say my needs too complex and too high risk, I do, and I've noticed that it does make it look worse than that when I'm sending the communication therapist report and that off, and evidence and that kind of thing. People are telling me that I'm sending too much evidence in one go and to let people get to know me first. But I feel like that's, to be honest with you, I don't feel that I can be congruent to myself doing it like that because I don't feel like I can be congruent to myself doing it like that because I feel like I'm lying to them. I feel like I'm lying to myself. I'd rather be honest at first. And I've been in situations before where I've been given opportunities, I've been given an apprenticeship, and it's like they'd asked me to bring medical evidence in, but then they found out about that, got rid of me straight away. But it's like I just don't, I'm just trying to build myself up for the worst case scenario, and I'd rather be honest about it. I'd rather be honest about it and get turned down at the very beginning rather than building myself up for a fall, by which I mean by which I mean giving a start date, given the opportunity, but then when they do ask for the medical evidence, eventually to get thrown out or be told that they shouldn't have never taken me on. But yeah, I feel a little bit more settled. I've got ideas that I want to work with. And yeah, if you want to know anything else, feel free to message me. If you've got any ideas of what I can do to make my dressing and that a little bit more me or a little bit more femininely, that'd be great. But yeah, I was in the local Weatherspoons the other day, yesterday, and there was, there was someone there, member of staff, and I'm like, I look over and they're like, I thought it was a woman at first, but then heard them speak, and then it's like, this definitely sounds like a camp male or whatever, and then you could see 5 o'clock shadow or whatever, but yeah, it was like, and then it was like I'd asked them the name and they were male, but they look more like a woman than I do. They look more and behave more like a woman than I do sometimes, even when I'm dressed and got the girls out, and the nails were done and that as well, and it was good. It was good to see people being true to themselves, especially in a public environment like that, where they don't, where they can just be true to themselves and not having to hide. And it is getting easier for me, but it's still hard as well. I'm not at that confident. I'm not at that confidence level just yet, or whatever, to be flamboyant and that about it. I'm just doing what I want to and enjoying it more. I do find it easier in that dressing in that out my local town sometimes, and when I'm on holiday and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's good to see that there are more people out there that are being true to themselves and following the journey path that they want to be. I know that it is hard with me with family and other professionals because I always feel like I'm letting people down, and I always feel that like I'm letting people down, like, and I don't like the conflict. I don't like the conflict. I don't like that situation. When I do get into conflict situations, I have in the past when I get into conflict situations, I always take it out on myself. Uh, by which I mean, uh, overdose. Where I've overdosed on paracetamol before, I've overdosed on iron tablets. I've ingested foreign objects. I've eaten used needles. I've eaten fork heads. I've eaten used glass, broken glass off the floor. I've eaten screws. I've eaten razor blades. And I don't want to go down that route again. And I'm just trying to be true to myself. Before anyone makes any judgments or calls the police, I have haven't overdosed or self-harmed since May 2023. I haven't done anything like this, anything like that since May 2023. I might sometimes get the odd thought in the back of my head and the odd voice telling me to do it, but the problem is that because I used to do it for so long, I'm always going to get that. I'm always going to get that to some degree, and it's controllable. I am just, I am just making it, I am just making it 100% clear that I haven't overdosed. I've got no intent to overdose. I haven't self-harmed. I've got no intent to self-harm. I just want the reason why I want to clear that up is because when I was having problems with my care and that last year, I had made a video on that to say that I I made a video and was telling people by email and that I wanted to be discharged and that kind of thing. And I got a phone call from the police about 20 to 1 in the morning on Christmas Day. And I'm like, we've had a phone call to say that you're planning on killing yourself or something. And I'm like, I don't know where that's come from because I was planning on ending it all with mental health services because it wasn't working. But not, I've not overdosed on that in the past. I do, if I'm getting a little bit heightened, I do say to people, would it be best if I do overdose when would it be best if I do overdose when I'm in heightened state because talking about my mental health is actively breaking the law and I've, and the matron at a certain place has told me that he didn't mind if I overdosed and I'm always getting arrested when I'm talking about mental health and if I overdose I don't do that. I mainly do that. I mainly say that to vent off some steam and to take the or to be sarcastic about what's happened in the past. I do get heightened and I do say it, but it's like I I just feel like at the time I just feel like people are trying to push me in towards overdosing and self harming again, and I do feel like that at the time. The I do feel like people are trying to push me like that at the time at times, and it's like I do say it, and I do say I should I start overdosing that again because talking about mental health is getting me arrested. I'm getting told that talking about mental health is actively breaking the law and that kind of thing. I mainly say that. I mainly say things like that. Mainly say things like that to vent off some steam and to be a bit sarcastic about the situation. But generally, I don't have intent or thoughts to self harm. I didn't quite make the 2 year goal last time, but I'm planning on making it this time. But yeah, it's like yeah, it's like I've up for trying something new. I'm up for revitalizing, recharging my energy, recharging my batteries. But it's about bringing in the right people and the people that I can trust to get this to work. And I don't trust the Tees Esconway Valley Trust anymore because people have had letters from the security department in the past stating that if their staff state that if their staff and that if their staff and that feel threatened or uncomfortable that they're going to go to the police and that. But generally, I'm in a better place and that I'm still 35 year old. I'm still a 35-year-old virgin and I do want to date and I do want to uh experience relationships and dating and that for the first time. Whether that with someone that can allow me to be Damian round them or Danielle. But yeah, it's like doing it again, rubbing my boobs. I always rub the girls when I've got the bra on. But yeah, it's like I am wanting to date. I'm wanting to meet someone that's comfortable with me for presenting me masculinely or femininely or a bit of both. But yeah, it's it's like I'm wanting to inspire other people in that as well. And I'm on a journey and I'm really excited about it. There is ups, there is downs, and there's everything in between. So, but yeah, life's a roller coaster. You've just got to ride it. Ronan Keating, Boyzone. Uh, but yeah, I don't hold any copyright to that. There's no copyright music in it. But yeah, I am just trying to be true to myself and to get things back on track. I feel like I'm making a massive step forward, bringing in this communication therapist, getting new things and that brought in with the familiar faces reports and that they did ask who they did ask if I thought it was relevant and that. And I'm like saying to her, I don't feel like it. I said to her, feel like it needs to be completely rewritten. This is the lady that does the reports, and I'm like, things have changed changed significantly since since uh since then. Since it was last done, or I'm still open to a communication. I'm still open to I'm open to a new GP surgery now. Sorry, I've got private therapy, and it's like, yeah, I've got new people to bring in. I've got new people to help try something new, to help try something different, to help try something magical, to help try something a bit more creative. But yeah, it's just about being true to myself and getting a plan that reflects that. And it's it's but little by little by little, helping me with change. And yeah, it's going to have its ups and downs. And I did get a bit upset the other day with things, and it was good to be able to have my doctor ringing me when my mental health's a little bit bad or whatever, so she can understand what's going on. And she said that I am in control, and that she said that I knew what was going on and that kind of thing, which was good, which was to have a positive impact of when the anxiety does get bad. But yeah, it's about me trying to know about what to do, what to say, but yeah, I've got things that I want to try. I've got opportunities that I want to do. Getting the girls out more regular now. It's like once, twice a week, and it's like, yeah, it's like I like the feel of it when I've got the girls out. I like just wearing a dress and going, if that's me, that's the person that I feel I am. I'm getting the energy from it. I'm getting the energy from it. It's like I've got the energy from it. It's giving me energy. It's giving me a boost. I'm more able to control things when I'm like this, and it's really good. But what I am trying to do as well this year is to book more things further in advance, so that I've got projects to look forward to, so that I've got something to aim for. Like I'm going to see Kylie in May, then I'm going to see then I'm going to see Formula One theatre show at Stockton, next one of the next towns along, from where I live, and looking forward to that. Would have liked to have gone to the Formula One exhibition in London, but there was no one to go with me, and I didn't really want to be going to London I didn't really want to be going to London on my own, but then I might have some further opportunities booked in, possibly. There is a deposit on it. I'm not going into it just yet for the end of June. So yeah, it's things are booked in. It's things are booked in. I've got steps that I want to take. Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Little changes to bring out a bigger change. But yeah, it's given me a little bit more focus on. It is annoying me when I'm getting turned down for opportunities and that kind of thing. And I do have a habit more of emailing more when I'm upset, when I'm distressed, because, or when I'm trying to get things sorted, because I'm like, can I, this doesn't work. Can I try things out that way? Can I try things out that way? There is times as well where I email more than one person within a trust, within an organisation, because I don't know who the main point of contact needs to be from that organisation. But it's mainly because I'm trying to get out what I need to say and to vent it and to get it out my system. Now that's a way and out your system. I think that was from Drew Ashling Cunningham on Instagram or something. But yeah, it's trying to get things how I need to get it, how I need to get it up here, but I've got ideas that I'm excited about. I've got things that I want to do. There's programs that I want to watch. I will be up watching the Formula One early hours of the morning when it starts again, and it's like I like watching things live. I'm going to see Kylie. Um, I have been looking at private jets from Teesside to Manchester. The cheapest private jet would be about 6.5 grand. You don't really get a flight attendant with that, but yeah, I'm not going to spend £6,500 on private jet. You could get, you could get Rolls Royce. You could get a Rolls Royce shuttle. You could get a Rolls Royce chauffeur service direct from my house to the arena for just over 600 and something. But uh, wanting to know, I'm not spending that much either. But I'm wanting to know more about myself. I'm wanting to explore myself. I'm wanting to explore my sexuality. I'm wanting more support from my family and from them to me or whatever. And I'm wanting to make the change that I need to get people to see me for me. And it's like if I can bring out more positivity, more if I can bring out more positivity, and if I can bring out more more positivity in myself and more belief in myself, then more people are going to believe in me and believe in what I want to do. But yeah, I'm passionate about the dressing. I'm passionate about getting this right this time and bringing in the people that I need to bring in, like therapists that, like private therapists that are about £75, £85 an hour, so that I can, or a session, so that I can get the support and the infrastructure in place with with the communication and the mental health to work together, because my biggest issue that's leading me into arrests and other things is that I don't always know how to express myself properly in a conflict or in a stressful situation or when I'm distressed. But I'm working on things. I am working on things. I have ideas. I've got ideas. The doctors have ideas. My communication therapist has ideas. But yeah, I'm just trying to get out there and enjoy myself. But if you have any questions, feel free to message me. Thank you and goodbye.